What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. I'm Ben Allen. For those of you that are new, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and make sure you turn on the bell notification. That way you guys can stay up to date with any new content that I post. I'd really appreciate it. But yeah guys, pretty much today's video is going to be talking about marriage in the military and like army, because that's what we're in, the army. And just pretty much talking about the process of getting married within the military and the process that you have to go through after that, whether it be like, you know, S1, stuff like that. But without further ado, let's get to it. Alright guys, so today I'm here with Wedge Koi. Yes, I know it's kind of a weird name, but once you guys know where it's from, you guys will better learn to love it. But yeah, Koi, tell us a little bit about yourself.
So yeah, my name is Wedge Koi. I'm originally from Washington State, and if you're curious where my name comes from, my father named me after a Star Wars character from the original trilogy. He was a X-Wing pilot during most of the main battles of the original trilogy.
But yeah, right, so that's Koi's little life in a nutshell, right? Little brief history on him, where he got his name from. But Koi has like recently gotten married in the army. I wouldn't say recently, but a few months back, he's gotten married to another soldier within the military, right? So I'm here to ask him questions about how that process went and what it was like, and how hard it is currently being on a rotation overseas and stuff like that, right? So pretty much my first question, Koi, for you is, what is it like being married in the military?
So honestly, like being married in the military, you know, like I understand what it's like to be a single soldier, because I was there at one point. You know, it gets kind of lonely, like being away from family and whatnot, but like once you like have a significant other, you know, it's nice to have that someone to be with, you know, every day. And I don't know, it just makes everything a little bit easier, you know.
I like it. I definitely agree. Like, you know, obviously I haven't been married in the military. I'm still a single soldier, I guess you could say, right? Like, I've definitely have talked to females in my time in the military, but and it has made like my time in the military a little more worthwhile, right? It gives it a little more purpose, because, you know, you have somebody to tell you your day about and things like that. It's cool, it's fun, it's great to share those experiences with somebody else. But that's my take on it. Koi has obviously been married, he is married and stuff like that, right? So like currently in our situation, like, right, we're on a rotation, can't tell you guys where because of OPSEC, but what's the hardest part about it, right? Like being so far away from your spouse and significant other.
I'd say the hardest part about it is like mainly like the time differences and stuff. It doesn't like really match up. I'm sure like other couples like out there find time to like speak on the phone with each other, you know, but obviously my wife is in the army as well, so we both have opposite schedules. So when she's working, I'm sleeping. When I'm working, she's sleeping, you know. And I don't know, it just gets hard at times because you don't get to speak all the time, you know. She was supposed to come out here, and then it turns out she wasn't. But, you know, it's just how it happens in the army. Everything doesn't necessarily go your way, but yeah, I don't know, I'd say that's the hardest part.
Yeah, so obviously, like, I'll speak on the single soldier side. Like, distance plays a factor in a lot of relationships as well. Like, you know, whether you're married or single, like, or in a relationship at the time, you know, about to get married or engaged or just talking to somebody else back home. But it definitely plays a key part, like, you know, being 6,000 miles away as opposed to like 100 miles away, you know. Distance is always going to be, you know, that killer, you know. And yeah, that's the single soldier side of it. But right, next one. So pretty much like, so you got married in the military, right? Mm-hmm. So like, how does dual military work, right? Like, what was the process you had to go through after like getting married to someone else who is also serving in the military?
Okay, so kind of the process is like, I mean, moving out of the barracks wasn't that big a deal, but it's like all the paperwork through all the S shops and stuff like that mainly needs to be done. Like, because in the army you get, I think it's a small amount of BAS, right? And that's, I don't remember exactly what that stands for. And also, if you're not living on a military installation, you're also getting basic housing allowance, which is BAH.
Yeah, BH.
Yeah. And so you basically gotta like file all this paperwork, like saying you got married to this person, you wanna stop receiving your meal deductions that you get to go to the dining facilities and stuff on base. And you gotta like write out all this paperwork to start your housing allowance, so that way you can be able to afford a place off post. So it all depends on the area you live in. It's not rank or anything like that. I think it matters a little bit, but yeah, it's all zip code dependent. So say you live in a really nice area, like you're gonna get like a good amount of BAH to be able to afford that place. But personally, I recommend somewhere that you'd be able to afford regardless of whether you'd be getting BH or not. Like say just your base pay, you'd be able to afford it, you know. But I mean, all the paperwork and stuff like that through the Army itself wasn't that bad. It was just kind of tedious going back and forth, having to deal with all that.
Yeah, so there you go, guys. Like pretty much like, you know, it's not that much of a hassle, you know. It's still some hoops and ladders that you got to go through, but not like severely like that bad and stuff like that. But also, like, for those of you that are like deployed and stuff like that, or like, you know, dual military, again, like, should your spouse like go to a different duty station, like usually the Army tries to accommodate like the locations, right? They try to send your spouse to wherever you're at, or within at least 100 miles of that location or duty station that you're at. So they really do try to help you out. So like, should Coy like be stationed somewhere else, they would try and send his wife, you know, within 100 miles, if not the exact base that he's at currently, you know what I mean? But they really do try to make it an easy process and stuff like that. And you know, like marriages in the Army, like Coy's fairly young, his wife is fairly young, you know, their marriage is fairly young, so they got so much time ahead of themselves to like build and grow as a couple. And you have like senior NCOs and senior officers that have been married for years and years and have really been through the struggles that the military provides, you know, whether it be on deployments, rotations, you know, being stationed, like constantly moving around, you know, having to pick up and move to a new location constantly. Like there's so many factors that affect like a marriage within the military. And so many factors that affect relationships in the military, right? Like, it's not just marriages, because, you know, like, if you've been dating somebody for, like, 4 or 5 years, like, hey, you know, you guys aren't married, but you guys are kind of married, you know, like, in a weird way. But I can attest to that, like, you know, so many relationships that I've gone through and, you know, have been, like, cut short due to the Army, or have been made stronger because of the Army. Like, recently was talking to this girl, and it was great. Taught me a lot, showed me a lot. It was a good time, but obviously the Army played a factor and stuff like that. And you know, it usually does, which is why personally I don't really want to pursue relationships at this point until I'm out of the Army. But that's just my 2 cents on it. I know Coy. I kind of know his wife. I've seen her around at work and stuff like that. She's a cool cat. They're perfect for each other, and I think they're going to make it pretty far in their marriage and in their military careers. Coy, do you have anything else you'd like to add, like as to like how being married is, like anything else like they could expect, like stuff like that?
I mean, like, there's not really much to add, but like if you're marrying like someone within the Army, it's a little bit easier. Like I don't know if it really matters, but like my wife, she's in our same battalion, so we'd both be in the same field problem, you know. So like I'd be in the field, she'd be in the field at the same time, so it wouldn't be so tough like being away from one another, because like every now and then need my vehicle fixed, like I'd be able to see her for a little bit.
Yeah.
But if it was, say, me marrying a civilian outside of the Army, like it'd be a little bit tougher, you know. You just gotta stick through it, I'd say.
Yeah, because like military marriages are one thing, civilian marriages are another. You have marriages that are already existent or like existing before they join the military. So I feel like those are a little harder to maintain because you're used to that person being around like 100% of the time. Then you join the military and then they're not, and so it really tests your all's relationships, right? Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, like I've seen people get cheated on. I've seen people cheat on their spouses while being in the military. It really changes your perception on relationships and stuff like that. I know it has. Like, if you guys have seen my relationships in the Army video, I'll link it up here right there so you guys can check it out if you'd like. But I got cheated on in basic. I know what it's like. Just stuff like that, guys. Like, it really tests you and your partner's bond pretty much. But yeah, so those are just some things to look out for. Like, I feel like being married to a civilian is a little harder than being married to another military personnel. But you also have a thing called contract marriages, and pretty much what those are is like you marry your homie pretty much, right? Like dudes marrying dudes, right, to get those benefits that the Army can provide you with if you're married, right? Like, I've seen it. Like, a couple of my buddies have gotten contract married, right? Like, even in AIT, like, I got proposed to by one of my best friends. She was like, yeah, let's get married, like we can get the money and stuff like that. And you know, I told her no because I wanted my first marriage to be legit. Like, I wanted to like really love like my first wife and stuff like that, my only wife. But yeah, shout out to you. You know who you are if you're watching. But yeah, guys, like, contract marriages are a thing. So I'm not telling you to do them, but you know, if they present themselves, like, hey, go for it, you know, but make sure you can prove it's legit and stuff like that. But I feel like we've covered pretty much everything I wanted to cover within marriage and the military. If you guys feel like you can add more to what we just talked about, you know, go ahead, by all means, leave it down in the comment section below. Again, make sure to check out my relationships in the military video. It's providing great insight. I have 2 special guests on that video talking about their personal experiences with talking to people while being in the military. It's a great video. I feel that you guys could get a lot from it, just like you guys would get a lot from this video. But yeah, guys, make sure you all like, comment, subscribe, and also share this video with all of your friends and family so they can be better informed on the channel. We're growing so much, and I'm so happy. You know, we just passed 1,000. We got another 100 subscribers in like a week alone. It's great. Thank you, Koi, for coming on. I really appreciate it. And yeah, we'll see you on the next one. Later.